So hamstring muscles, as I told you, you left one thing. So to be the criteria of hamstring muscle, we should have that its muscle should be a flexor of knee joint and extensor of hip joint. Okay, this is also very important. Right now, as I told you, we will see the sciatic nerve. Sciatic nerve is very important as an MCQ also in the theory paper you will get sciatic nerve. Okay, so that it's important. So in sciatic nerve, so we will learn using the diagram. Okay, this is the sciatic nerve diagram. So one of the diagram, this diagram we can use it for clear understanding. So please practice this diagram also. Okay, right. So sciatic nerve, if you can see, it is starting from the pelvis actually and terminates the superior angle of popliteal fossa. At inferior angle of popliteus muscle, we had popliteal artery dividing, but here it is dividing, it is terminating at the superior angle of popliteal fossa. Okay, for popliteal fossa, we have it's a kind of space in the back of thigh. Superior angle of popliteal fossa, it divides into tibial part and the common peroneal part. Okay, tibial and the common peroneal part. So it's from the sacral plexus. As we have brachial plexus, lumbar plexus, we have sacral plexus. So from the L4, L5, S1, S2, S3. Okay, we have the what? You have the particular sciatic nerve. Till S3, we have the sciatic nerve. Okay, so this is a kind of very important one, right? So from here to here, we have a sciatic nerve. So you have to able to draw this sciatic nerve, right? Okay. So in sciatic nerve, its diagram, what you should follow will be, okay, so you can draw in this also, this way. Okay, sciatic nerve, you can put L4, L5, S1 and S2, S3, S4 won't come actually. Or you can, this is a perfect one to draw. Okay, so let us see from here. And they have given the course. So before going with that, you have two part. Tibial part, as I told you, this tibial part is formed from the ventral division. Okay, so tibial part is formed from the ventral division of the anterior primary rami, whereas the common peroneal part is the dorsal division of the anterior primary rami. That is important. And this tibial part has a root value of sciatic nerve, but one lesser in the case of common peroneal nerve. You can see right here. So this is the tibial part. It starts from here to here. So till the S3, it is going to be present. This is the tibial part. Whereas the common peroneal part, it ends at the S2 itself. So this you have to see through. So S2, it ends. This is ending at the S3. Okay, that is important in the case of the root values. Now let us see about the course and the relation of the sciatic nerve. So in pelvis, it starts in the pelvis actually. That one skull like you have in an image. Okay, it is not skull actually. It is a hip bone. And the pelvic bone will have actually. So in that you can see the diagram is not given here. So let me show it later. So in the case of it starts in the pelvis actually. Okay, so in the pelvis it starts and in the front of the piriformis under cover of its fascia. So piriformis, the key muscle as we mentioned. Here on the case it lies in the front of piriformis. Now coming over to the gluteal region, it enters the gluteal region by piercing the greater sciatic foramen. So this is asking like it comes under the MCQ question for which sciatic foramen, greater or lesser sciatic foramen. So it pierces the greater sciatic foramen and enters the gluteal region where it is going to be below to the piriformis. So structures below the piriformis and above the piriformis makes an important role in MCQs. So it's below the piriformis, but there in the pelvis it was front of piriformis. Here it is below the piriformis and it runs downwards between the greater trochanter and the ischial tuberosity, you can see them. Okay, so passing between those two things. So in diagram, greater trochanter, ischial tuberosity. This is yeah, you can see right here. So piriformis. This is a pelvis bone. It is going to come to the piriformis. Okay, and this is the ischial tuberosity, and this is ischial tuberosity, and this is a greater trochanter. Because between that two things, you can see the sciatic nerve passing through it. Okay, this is very important in the case of gluteal region. So once gluteal region is completed, it has the following relations. You have to know the relations in the gluteal region. So anterior or deep and posterior superficial. That is what we saw in the popliteal artery also. So superficially you have the gluteal region. You have the gluteus maximus muscle. That is not given in this image. Superficially you have the gluteus maximus muscle, and deeply you can see the obturator internus with the gamelli. So you have some operator internus muscle, right? So these are the deeper part. So superior and the inferior gamelli, and you have the operator internus. Okay, you also come across the quadratus femoris also. That is also kind of a deep structure. Okay, so quadratus femoris. Okay, operator internus with the gamelli. So writing operator internus, you should know about the operator externus also. Okay, and you see the ischial, right? So ischial spine and tuberosity. So in that case, we'll write the ischium body. So body of the ischium also plays an important role. And adductor magnus. So adductor magnus is also coming in like a kind of, it is a hamstring muscle, right? So adductor magnus in the capsule of the hip joint is also kind of a deep structure, a deep structure. Okay, so that is what you should know very well. So next we comes to the thigh region. Okay, so yeah, so in the middle part of the gluteal side, you can have the inferior gluteal nerves and vessels. So inferior gluteal nerve, we have superior gluteal nerve. So since we are talking about the inferior border piriformis, we have inferior gluteal nerves only and vessels only in the below the piriformis. So here you can see the inferior gluteal nerves and vessels in the medial to the, this is the medial part. Okay, this is the lateral part. In the medial component, you can see the inferior gluteal nerves and vessels. Right. Next, we come across the thigh. In thigh, okay, so sciatic nerve enters the back of the thigh, at the lower border of the gluteus maximus. Okay, so by piercing the lower border of gluteus maximus, they enter the back of the thigh, and they run vertically downwards. Okay, and it terminates up to the superior angle of the popliteal fossa, where it terminates by dividing the tibial and the common peroneal nerve. And here also you have certain kinds of relations in the back of the thigh also given so far. Okay, then we come across the branches of the sciatic nerve. Okay, so sciatic nerve, you should know the origination of sciatic nerve. Okay, what is the root value of sciatic nerve? What are the relations and what are the branches, and what a kind of, see, anatomy sciatic nerve has. Okay, those are very important in sciatic nerve. Okay, so let me give you idea of sciatic nerve. Before that, I check for the posterior compartment. So right, if you see the back of thigh, we have superficially, okay, or posteriorly, you have the long head of biceps femoris, sciatic nerve. So biceps femoris, as we learned, bicep femoris is long head and short head. So long head is only the kind of hamstring. So it should be a tibial part of sciatic nerve. Short head is a common peroneal part of sciatic nerve. And semimembranosus is the chief flexor and should be the extensor of the hip. This should be the criteria of all the kinds of hamstring muscle. Okay, and this is the kind of lateral rotator. Okay, so lateral rotator. So only bicep femoris is the lateral rotator, whereas others are the middle rotator of the leg. Okay, so as we see, the bicep femoris is going to be superficial to this, but there superficially we have gluteus maximus. Okay, and in deeper region we have the adductor magnus. Okay, adductor magnus also you can come across the sciatic nerve. Okay, so hamstring must part with tibial but sciatic nerve. So when you learn adductor magnus you will come across sciatic nerve. Medially semimembranosus and semitendinosus, those two will be in the medial side of the. So here in diagram also you can see these are in the medial side, right? So this is the medial part of the sciatic nerve. Okay, this is the lateral part. Okay, laterally you can see the same bicep femoris is in the superficial also comes in the lateral part. Okay, so this is very important. Branches is articular branches to the hip joint that is going to arise in the not in the gluteal region but in the case of the knee. Okay, that is the back of thigh you can see, not in the gluteal region. You don't have hip joint and in the gluteal region. Knee joint only in the back of thigh. That is correct only. Muscular branches. Tibial part supplies all the hamstring muscles like semitendinosus, membranosus, long head of bicep femoris, and the ischial part of adductor magnus. These are the hamstring muscles. The common peroneal supplies only the short head of the bicep femoris. Is not a hamstring muscle. Okay. So in the case of sciatic nerve, you should study about the sciatica. Sciatica is nothing but a kind of shooting pain will be there. Okay, where the compression is going to be in the sciatic nerve. Okay, and along with cutaneous distribution also you will have the pain. Okay, that pain will start in the gluteal region. Okay, and it back of the thigh. Okay, it goes on lateral side of the leg and dorsum of the foot. This is one of the important clinical condition. And you have a sleeping foot disease, which is the temporary one. It just what it is also like compression of the sciatic nerve only, but it is easily recovered. Okay, but sensation will come back within the few minutes. Okay, compressed, the sciatic nerve get compressed only in this also. And the next thing is the motor loss you have and your sensory loss. Sensory loss will happen in the back of the thigh actually. Okay, and the whole of the leg. Okay, and the foot except the area is being innervated by the saphenous nerve. Motor loss occur dorsiflexor, plantar flexor, hamstring muscle loss, aerators and the sole muscles. And you also have a foot drop, but by penetrating the sciatic nerve may be injured by penetrating wounds, dislocation of the hip. Okay, so this resulted in the loss of hormone below the knee with a foot drop. Foot drop was also one kind of clinical symptoms of the sciatic nerve. So to conclude the sciatic nerve, which is like 13 minutes video, we should know that it is like a kind of what? From where it get originated, from the pelvis, where it is getting terminated in the superior angular popliteal fossa by dividing into the anterior, it's a tibial and the common peroneal component. What is the root value? L4, L5, S1, S2 and S3. What is the root value of a tibial part and what is the root value of the common peroneal part, which plexus it originate? Then moving on to the course relation in pelvis, like it is like front of piriformis, the gluteal region below the piriformis. Okay, it runs downwards and between the ischial tuberosity and the related trochanter it will be there. Or the superficially gluteus maximus, deeply you can see the gammali, the quadratus femoris, obturator externus and internus. Okay, all these things you can see in the deeper region along with the ischial body. Okay, adductor magnus, capsule of the hip joint. Medial you can see the inferior genicular nerves and the inferior genicular vessels. The thigh region, it will be moving downwards and it reaches the superior angle of popliteal fossa where it divides into two things. It is the tibial part and the common peroneal part. Superficially in the thigh, it's bicep femoris. Laterally also bicep femoris. Medially semitendinosus. You have to know. And the deeper part is the adductor magnus here. So next is the branches, articular branches to the hip joint, muscular branches to the hamstring muscles. When common peroneal is only supplying the short head of the bicep femoris. Clinical anatomy, sciatica, compression sciatic nerve causing the loss of sensation on the lateral side of the leg, gluteus region, okay, also in the dorsum of the foot. Okay, shooting pain will be there. And sleeping foot is also compression sciatic nerve, but the sensation comes back to the within few minutes sensations come back. Sciatic nerves, what happens? It will be a sensory loss in the back of the thigh, whole of the leg, and the foot, except the median remain innervated by the saphenous nerve, and which is a greater nerve, great longest nerve. Okay, and there will be a foot drop. Okay, and this motor loss will be for the hamstring muscle, dorsiflexor, plantar flexor, eversion on the sole of the muscles of the sole also. There will be a what? Motor loss. This is about the sciatic nerve.